Hi everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and today I want to tell you about a brand new crochet along. This will be starting October 4th, 2021. So go ahead and mark your calendars and start getting your supplies because this is going to be a mystery crochet along. Now, a few weeks ago, I posed a poll to my community on my YouTube page, and I got wonderful responses and wonderful comments. I've read all of them, and I really appreciate everybody's input. And that is why we're going to have two crochet alongs. This one in 2021, starting in October, which will be a mystery. And then we're going to have a second one starting in early winter 2022. So stay tuned for more information on that. That will be forthcoming in a few months. But just know that I have heard all your voices, and I do want to do projects that will satisfy everybody across the board, if that's even possible. Well, anyway, let me give you some clues as to what we're going to do for this mystery crochet along starting in October. It will be approximately 6 weeks long. We are going to be using, I'm personally going to be using worsted weight yarn. You don't have to use what I'm using, but I'm going to be using the paint box yarn, and I'm going to go according to the yardage of this. Each square is going to take, okay, I just gave away a clue. It is going to be made up of squares, okay? Each week we're going to learn a new square, and we're going to do that for 5 weeks. And what's really cool about this particular project is if you don't like a particular square that comes out a particular week, you don't have to use it. This is a great way for you to be totally creative, both in your color selection as well as in the style of putting it together. You can use my suggestions as to what I do with the trim, or you don't have to. It's all up to you. But I will be giving enough guidance so if you want to do something very similar to what I'm doing, you'll be able to do that. I know that sounds kind of crazy. Well, anyway, what are you going to need? Again, I said I'm going to be using the paint box, 100% acrylic yarn. This is a worsted or an Aran weight. Each of these has approximately 201 yards in each ball of yarn. And I'm going to be using 5 of these for each of the 5 colors that I'll be using in my project. So what you're going to want to do is find 5 colors that you absolutely love, maybe something that goes with your home decor or maybe represents a beautiful picture. You know, you can pull colors from a lot of different places. I'm not going to give you all the color schemes. That's going to be up to you. You guys have so much great creativity in choosing colors anyway. I mean, I'm learning from you as much as anything. So go ahead and pick those 5 colors, and then in addition to those 5 colors, you're going to need to pick 1 trim color. Now let's go back to the square colors. For the 5 colors that I'll be using, I'm going to have 1,000 yards for each color. So this has approximately, well, it's 201 yards per ball. So I'm going to have 5 of these in reserve for the squares that I'm going to be making. So I'm going to be making 4 squares of each of these colors. I'm going to need 5. I'm recommending 5 balls of yarn, mostly so that you don't run out. Okay, now for the trim color, I'm recommending that you have about 1,000 yards in reserve of a trim color, and this is the color that we're going to be crocheting around all the squares. We're going to be connecting it up and doing also an edging at the end. So in order to do that, have at least 1,000 yards available. 1,200 yards actually might be preferable, just so that you have other options should you want to, deviate from what I'm recommending. And for those colors, I do recommend that it be either a dark or a neutral color, something that will, go along with all the other colors that you've chosen. Now, if you don't want to go out and purchase a lot of yarn for this project, no problem. Make this a stash buster. If you have a lot of worsted weight yarn that you just don't know what to do with, get all those extra hanks and scans and balls of yarn together and see if you can, gather them, and we can just start working from that. I do recommend that whatever you use, that you keep it the same fiber size. In other words, if you're going to make a worsted weight blanket, make it all worsted weight. If you want to make it a DK blanket, or throw, that's perfectly fine too. Just make sure that you size your hooks to the size yarn that you choose. And if you just want to make this a project where you just make pillows, that would actually be perfectly fine too. And just to let you know, I'm going to be using a size I or 9 or 5.50 millimeter crochet hook to match my yarn. But again, if you want to choose other yarn for this project, please go ahead and size up the hook that will bless you the most. And one other last option that I've seen many people do with my crochet alongs in the past, and that is make it one solid color. That, I believe, can be just as stunning as anything. And if you're going to do that, I actually encourage you to use more the Aran or the cream or the lighter colors, because this is going to be a highly texturized project. Yeah, giving you some more clues here, and you know where I'm going with this. Again, this is an intermediate level project. But if you are a confident beginner, this is a great time to learn some new techniques and new stitches. And mistakes are allowed. That's what's great about learning something new, is you're allowed to make mistakes and get a little bit messy. This is just squares. And if you're working from your extra stash, there's really no investment involved. So you can really have fun, get a little messy, and learn something fun and new. Each week, as each square comes out, I will have the directions posted in my BonnieBayCrochet.com blog post. And as we complete the project, once we complete the entire throw, we will have that available for you in my Lovecraft store at lovecrafts.com. So grab your hooks and grab your yarn and join me October 4th. God bless. Bye-bye.